Okay, we're back and we're about to do the Reaper IFF, which I mentioned in my last video I find to be a totally annoying mission. Anyway, there's Shepard's fish over there. Those Project paddlefish will come in handy in Mass Effect 3, because I plan on doing a new game plus for Mass Effect 3. Because I just want access to level 10 weapons. It's the main reason. But I thought I'd come up here. The reason Shepard's up in her cabin is just to show you the setup I'm going with for this mission. I'm basically focusing in on weapon damage here. So here we have 3%, 5%, 3%, we're up to 11, 16% weapon damage. And basically, the idea will be to take down the skins as fast as possible and also strip the armor off the husks as fast as possible. And I don't know, it doesn't make a difference here. I don't need storm speed for this mission, and shield strength isn't gonna matter, and this has got more shield strength anyway. I thought I'd show that. And there's Boo. Hey Boo, come out and say hi. Right? And just in case anybody's curious, yes, I have all the bloody achievements. They're all there. And I got all the models, so I'm all set up for Mass Effect 3. Just have to make sure Kelly survives, so you can give me my fish back. Now, as a story note here, I mean, I suppose story-wise, it doesn't make much sense to keep bopping back and forth to the Shadow Broker base. I mean, I suppose you could justify it saying Shepard's visiting her girlfriend or something like that, but... And skipping a loyalty missions may not make much sense. But the metagaming issues, after a while, Mass Effect 2 just begins to wear on me. I mean, I really like this game a lot, but it drags on and on and on. And eventually, I want to bring it to a close and get on to Mass Effect 3. And so, I don't know, the story's going to suffer a little bit here. On my last Shepard, she was ruthless. And so she did all the loyalty missions, except for Tallies and Legions, before getting the Reaper thing. And I saved Tallies only because I wanted to bring Legion along. But I wanted to get them all done before we went to the relay, because Miranda says the mission comes first, and for my ruthless Shepard, where the mission comes first, she would have been forced to agree with Miranda, and then we would have lost Kelly over here, who don't really care too much about Kelly, but I would have also lost Gabby, and I really like Gabby, and I don't want to lose Gabby. Although for Mass Effect 3, I do want Kelly around, because I want that paddlefish, because there's a nice upgrade for a new game plus. So Kelly, you get to live through this. So we're just gonna have to make some little, I don't know, exception to our story being everything. There's some metagaming stuff going on. I am gonna do the Overlord before we go through the Omega 4 relay, because that fits with the story. That's where basically Shepard will say, screw Cerberus. I've had enough of Cerberus. I still have this mission, but basically I'm going rogue. And then after the suicide mission, we'll do arrival. In the last playthrough, I reversed the order. I did arrival before the suicide mission, because that made sense. And also we got to hear a different dialogue from Hackett than you would if you did it afterwards. And I did Overlord after the suicide mission, and that was the way that Ruthless Shepard, who was pro-Cerberus, finally decided, okay, this is enough. This is just going too far. Because by the time you get to Mass Effect 3, you have to break with Cerberus. I mean, you just have to. So even if you try to come up with a pro-Cerberus Shepard, by Mass Effect 3, you have to have an anti-Cerberus Shepard. So on that last playthrough, I did Overlord after the suicide mission as a way to say, okay, this is why Shepard broke from Cerberus. But in this playthrough, this Shepard's never been on board with Cerberus. She's never been very happy about working with Cerberus. But the Overlord mission then will be her chance to say, okay, fine, I've had enough. We're going rogue. We don't care about Cerberus anymore. The Elusive Man can fire me. Alright, so let's start up this totally annoying mission. I mean, it's really super easy on normal or veteran. I mean, it's just incredibly easy as an adept. You just bring Thane and Samara with you, both with area throw. And the adept's got singularity and throw. And I mean, you just slaughter the husks and never really even worry about them. But then you hit hardcore, and all of a sudden an exponential increase in difficulty, because now the husks have to be stripped before you can do anything with them. Alright, and I'm bringing both of these guys. I'm bringing Morden for his incineration blast, 3-meter radius, and Samara for area reeve, 3-meter radius. I don't think Samara's is quite enough to strip the husks, even with a 60% increase in damage from reeve, from biotic upgrades, but hopefully, you know, our guns will also come into play. Alright. I think normally I go this way. It actually does make it more survivable. But in this case, I think I want to go with weapon damage. Yeah, let's do that. And for Shepard, I've gone with heavy singularity. And the main reason here is there's a 15-second extra duration on singularity. And these fights can last a bit. And this way I don't have to focus as much on keeping that singularity in place as a blocking mechanism. It's also got a longer hold duration, which means we might be able to shoot off, if a husk or 2 or 3 get stuck in the field, we may be able to shoot them off their armor before they break the singularity. So if they're in there long enough and they break through the singularity, it ends the singularity. And I don't want that. I would like the singularity to just remain in place. So for that reason I went with heavy. I also went with Bastion for the extra power duration. I'm hoping that that will actually work on making the whole duration on singularity last longer. I'm hoping. I don't know. But and then tungsten ammo. Alright. Alright, for Shepard, on this mission, I'm going with the Tempest. Main reason, I'm not so worried about accuracy here. I don't care about the spread pattern on the Tempest here, because if I'm shooting at one husk and I miss him, the bullet may just hit another husk next to him. They group up pretty tightly. Another thing is this has got 50 rounds instead of 20 rounds, so I'll spend a lot less time reloading using this than I will with the Locust. Although this will do less damage, it does less damage per shot than Locust, and the Locust also got a small multiplier against armor. This, I do not believe, has a multiplier against armor. The Locust does, but nevertheless, I would rather spend less time reloading. And it doesn't really take that many shots to get the armor off the husks. I'm not using the weapons to kill the bloody things. I'm using it to strip them. And here, we're going to end this fight. The final fight is just annoying as sin. And I just want to end that. And that looks good. And that looks good. Alright.
What's with all the chop, Joker?
Doing my best. The wind's gusting to 500 kph. There's a second ship alongside the Reaper. It's not transmitting any IFF, but the radar paints its silhouette as Geth.
I guess we know where the science team stopped reporting in. What just happened?
The Reaper's Mass Effect fields are still active. We just passed inside their envelope. Eye of the hurricane, huh?
All right. Alright, and how's the other guys doing? They're alright. Make sure my power wheel's right. Yep, that's right.
This does not look like the work of Geth.
I don't really care. We heard the work logs on the last playthrough. We don't need to hear them again.
Normandy to shore party.
What just happened?
The Reaper put up kinetic barriers. I don't think we can get through from our side.
We are trapped.
I need options, Joker. What have you got for me?
Shepard, a kinetic barrier can only be produced by a Mass Effect generator. That is true for any ship, even a Reaper. At the moment of activation, I detected a heat spike in what is likely the wreck's Mass Effect core, sending the coordinates now. Be advised, this core is also maintaining the Reaper's altitude.
So when we take the barriers down to escape, the wreck falls into the planet core.
And that means everyone dies. Yeah, I got it.
We'll make a sweep for survivors and research data. Then we'll knock this ugly piece of crap out of the sky. Be ready to pick us up. Being crushed in the heart of a brown dwarf is not on today's agenda.
Aye, aye. Good hunting.
Fascinating. Requires scanners from Normandy. Great deal of data.
I don't need my squad taking cover behind that thing. Alright. Well, man, most of this episode is me just explaining what I'm going to be doing. I hope this wasn't totally annoying to you. But I think we should end it here and pick up the action. The action will actually start in the next episode. Until then, take it easy.